6 a.m. Monday morning, back to the port of Tampa. Time to disembark. We're almost fully alongside. Yeah, we got to talk about what's going on in cruising. Man, I have seen some crazy stuff on cruise ships, but yesterday takes the cake. It was the final day, I think, of our 5 or 6 day cruise on the Margaritaville at Sea Islander, a sea day. And it should have been a day for fun and frivolity. And it was that for part of the day, but then toward the middle to the end of the day, it turned dark. It turned dark as I witnessed a fight, an argument at the blackjack table in the casino. Now look, I've already reported once from the casino. I don't know what was in the water on this cruise. A few people said they had norovirus, but I don't know what was in the water on this cruise, but there was some wacky stuff going on in the casino. I told you a few days ago about the event on the first night where some belligerent lady was yelling at a dealer for not smiling big enough. And then that happened again, night before last. Not last night, but the night before last. This time it was a dude. It was a dude that wasn't happy that the dealer wasn't smiling enough. You know, I don't understand it. What happened to hardcore degenerate gambling? I tell you what, I took a break. I took like 6 months off. Maybe I've been out of the lifestyle for too long, but I just remember gambling as you just put your nose down and you get into it and you gamble. You listen to the flip of the cards. You listen to the landing of the dice at the end of the craps tub. All the things, the ding, 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 ding. If you're a slots player, to me, that's gambling, not all this moaning and griping. Oh, I'm losing. Oh, nobody's smiling enough. Look, you got to put on your big boy pants and your big girl pants if you're going to gamble. Sometimes you're going to win. Sometimes you're going to lose. And the super duper reality is the whole system is set up so that you lose. So that you lose and you get a funky feeling about it so that you want to do it again and you lose again. It's a lose-lose proposition. I feel like I'm slipping into dad mode. Gambling is not set to make you rich. Gambling is no guarantee win. It's mostly guaranteed losses. You should not gamble with money unless you can lose it. And you got to know when to walk away. Look, this is why gambling is dangerous. I mean, it's a little predatory. Your brain breaks a little bit and you're like, oh, I got to get that money back that I lost. Let me chase, be very careful. I'm going to throw the hotline number up here. Gamblers Anonymous will help you if you need help. And look, it's a compulsion. It's an obsession. And you really have to keep your wits about you. It's one of those addictive, predatory things that if you don't have some sort of control over it, it will eat you alive. You can see it. You can see the people that it's eating alive because they're losing and because the money's going away and because they can't get out of that loop. If you like it, gamble with what you can lose and enjoy it. Enjoy the pop of the cards. Enjoy the dice flying and the camaraderie of the people at the table. But please don't gamble if you think you're going to get rich. Don't gamble if you think you're going to get free cruises. That's no guarantee. Yeah, I don't know. That's the disclaimer. But again, we got another, person yelling at a dealer because they, aren't smiling enough. These folks are paid to flip cards, and obviously they're not looking to be mean to you, and I've never ran into a dealer that wasn't pleasant. Again, trying to get a dealer to do a dog and pony show for you in addition to their job after working all those hours is crazy. But I guess some people want a song and dance. Hello, my baby. Hello, my mama. Hello, my ragtime gal. Like you want the Joker at the table. I don't know. You guys need to calm down and leave the dealers alone, but all of those two stories completely, and if you didn't see the first report, I'll leave that linked at the end. All of that is pale in comparison to the shenanigans, to the crazy hubbub that went down on the blackjack table last night. It was crazy, y'all. Let me set the stage for you. Here's the context. No, come on, man. Right now, dance break. All right, get up. Get up. Dance break. I'm trying to tell a story here. Let's wait till it comes around. try and tell a story. Here's the context. $25 blackjack table. Been playing this table every night, so it's the usual suspects. And certainly there were two guys on the cruise that were playing at a very high financial level. And one of the guys apparently had been playing for 10 hours when this event occurred, and he was down $20,000. 20,000. He said he was down $20,000. So when I approached the table with my little short stack, I'm like, hey man, how you doing? He's like, I'm not doing good. I'm down $20,000. I'm like, all right, man, good luck to you. And he's like, no, come play if you like. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait till the end of the show. And he's like, no, let's get in it. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, get in it. So I sat down with my short stack, $200-300, start playing some blackjack. It's going okay, but it's not going okay for the dude. Anything that happened in the least that would, under normal circumstances, not been that big of a deal was a big deal. The dealer beats him with a 19 when he's showing an 18, just slams the chips down and just mutters and cusses, and the dude is having a bad time. His wife is there with him. It's kind of nice lady there with him, just trying to support him, but he's all in. He's like, I'm down this much and I'm going for it. And then, well, that's when high roller number 2 comes up and he joins the table and he gets a pretty decent sized stack of chips. And the game's going as the game is going. And the way it works sometimes when you got 3 players, sometimes 2 people seem to be winning and 1 person seems to be not winning. And I wasn't paying that close attention to it, but it did seem that I was winning some hands, the other guy was winning some hands, and the guy that had been there all day, he was losing some hands, I guess, but the only reason that I know he was losing hands is that anytime he would lose, he would make a commotion. You got to be really careful if you decide to go down the gambling path. We're all adults. We all make our own decisions. I'm not trying to be prescriptive that way, but you see it. And I definitely saw it yesterday when this guy was way down the rabbit hole of despair because he had lost a lot of money, which is fair. But what's not fair is being abusive to other people. And that's what happened. A simple turn of the card, it turned into mayhem. It turned into a ruckus. Very simply, there's a few decisions that you make in blackjack that can go either way. There's a basic strategy. You can get this basic strategy laid out for you on a card. You can get it like from Amazon, and it'll tell you if you have certain cards and the dealer has certain cards, then you should make this decision. It's the best mathematical, computer model generated, tested. This is the best decision that you should make, but it doesn't always work out. And there's no rule that says you have to make that decision. And there's certain decision points that are fairly contestable, that they're almost 50-50. And so, you know, it's pretty well accepted that if you have a 16 and the dealer has 17 or more, you can do, you know, 2 things. You can either hit or you can stay. Either one is a fairly acceptable choice, right? The little card says you should hit, but it's also fairly acceptable not to hit. And the guy next to me, not the guy that was down, but the guy that had joined the game, he decided not to hit. And well, let's just say that the guy that was second in line, not hitting the 16, really upset the guy that was already down multiple thousands of dollars. And it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. When the guy doesn't hit the 16, you can tell that the guy's annoyed. He takes a hit, he makes a really great hand, but the dealer is able to make a better hand. We all lose. And of course, while we're losing, the guy is paying close attention. So if the guy would have hit the 16, he would have had a good hand. Then the guy on third base, the upset losing guy, he would have taken a hit. He would have had a good hand, and then the dealer would have busted. There would have been a bust card for the dealer. And so this breaks something. This breaks something in the guy on third base. This breaks something in the guy that was already losing. And he starts a grumbling. I'm making the biggest bets. It certainly is a weird flex to assume just because your bets are bigger than the other 2 people at the table that you've got more money somehow. He pulled out the basic strategy card and said to the guy that was clearly an accomplished blackjack player, hey, do you want this card so that you don't make that mistake again? This was not going to go well. And the guy said, hey, it's 16, it's 50-50. I'll play it the way I want to play it. And the guy said, yeah, that's right. You can play it like that. If you want to play it like you're an a-hole. So immediately, once this gets loud and the a-hole comes out, the supervisors start coming over. The dealers get intense. I'm trying to look at the guy. The wife's looking at the guy. And the guy says, look, I'll play my cards any way that I want, you obnoxious D-bag. So now the barbs are going. And well, I guess that sent the loser guy, the guy that was losing, way over the top. Because he says to the guy, he says, look, if you want, we can take it outside and I will throw you overboard. Which that's a whole nother level of a thing on a cruise ship. There's a few things you should not do in life. You should not yell fire in a crowded movie theater. I can't think of any other things, but you should not do that thing. And you definitely should not threaten to throw someone overboard off of a cruise ship. That's probably the wildest thing I've ever seen in any cruise ship altercation. So how does this story end? Well, it was de-escalated very quickly. 2 supervisors came over and immediately spoke to the guy, said, hey, this guy can play his cards any way that he wants. Security was called and the guy immediately calmed down. He apologized. He apologized to the guy that he had threatened to throw overboard. The guy that was threatened to be thrown overboard was having nothing to do with it. He immediately cashes out. He bugs out. I'm up a little bit at this point. It's a lot. It was a lot. And the guy was still going to stay there and play. You know, I bug out for about an hour and a half. I come back down and I guess everything is copacetic. I guess, you know, maybe heat of the moment, you can say a crazy thing. And as long as it was heat of the moment, wasn't a permaban kind of thing, the guy was still there. He was still there playing and it didn't look like it was going any better. I did not rejoin that table. Let me just say that. I went and threw some dice where the other guy was throwing some dice, and the supervisor came over and said, hey, we can open up another $25 table if you guys want to sit there and play at that table. So we played some more blackjack and peace and quiet. Peace and quiet, and nobody was, there was no more fracas. It's like Ludacris said, you got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold, know when to walk away, and know when to stay away from the guy that threatens to throw you off of a cruise ship. Shout out Ludacris. Keep up to date with everything going on in cruising by subscribing. Hope you enjoyed this story time. Hit the like button on the way out. Tony for La Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.